Folks, in this video, I'm going to show you another way to blur a moving object on a video in Davinci Resolve. So what I have here is a footage of someone biking, and there's going to be some points where, for example, this person bikes behind a tree, right? And so whatever thing that we're using to blur must know that, must be able to, solve this problem. The other thing is there's like some major camera angle changes. So for example, in the start of the video, we're actually quite close to the person, but at the end of the video, you can see the person gets pretty small and also moves to the right side of the screen. And so we have to be good with tracking. And so sometimes the automated tracking that comes with Davinci Resolve won't work quite as well as manually figuring out and telling the computer where the thing you want to blur is. So I'm going to select the video. I'm going to go to colors, and I'm going to select a shape that is kind of matches what the person looks like. I'm just going to use a rectangle for simplicity. And basically, I just want to blur the person. So let's do that. Okay, and maybe they're going to be a little bit wide for now. Okay. And so, for example, if you go to the color, you can increase that, and basically that's how you apply a blur. Now, the problem is this is a static blur. So if I play, right, the blur actually stays in the same place, but the person has moved on to a different part of the screen. So we want to basically let the computer know, hey, like this rectangle that we're blurring on has moved. So what you can do is you can click on tracking. I'm going to usually click on point tracker, and I'm going to click frame, which allows us to set a bunch of keyframes as we're playing the video. So I'm going to go back to target here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to play the video quickly. So I'm going to use my space bar on my computer. And as you can see, even after a little bit, he's moved over there. So I'm actually going to adjust it now. Now, if you go back to targeting, what we've done is we've added a keyframe, which means it saves the position of it. And there's some interpolation that goes from the first keyframe to the second keyframe. So if we go back to the video, you can see that, we are basically moving the keyframe to moving this rectangle to where the person is. So that allows us to kind of manually adjust as the video is going, which gives us a very nice way of, having some confidence that the tracking will actually find the person and correctly track the person. So there's some, major movements here. I'm actually going to go and start over. I just want to see how this is going so far. So yeah, it looks like we're tracking pretty nicely. And the person's slowing. That's great. Okay, so it looks like we're off a little bit here. I'm just going to make some adjustments here. And it looks like the person's like a lot bigger at the beginning, and now they're really small. So I'm actually just going to make this a little bit smaller now. Okay. All right, so let's actually see how that interpolation did its thing. So we're going to go beginning looks fine. And then as the person gets really small, you can see the box. I'm just going to zoom back. You can see how big the box is now, but you can see the box becoming smaller and smaller. That's great. Cool. So let's actually fix the positioning of this. All right. Cool. Oops. All right. So it looks like there was a pretty major camera movement. So I want to make sure that we catch that, major camera movement back to the right. Okay, and then I think we can make the video, the blur box a lot smaller now, because the person's a lot smaller now. We don't really need to blur out the whole bike as well. So I'm just gonna make some adjustments here. Okay. And because the box is a lot smaller, it's, we're gonna just try to be a little bit more careful with following the person to the end of the video. Okay, maybe let's make this a little bigger. I'm missing a lot of the person. Okay. All right, we're almost done. We're almost done. Let's try to get to the end of this video. Okay, another dramatic camera angle shift. All right, so let's watch the whole video. So this is tracking fine so far. Okay, the box is getting a little smaller. There's going to be a major, okay, so that was not great. There's this part where there's like a major shift, and I don't think we needed that major shift. Cool. All right, so let's fix that. All right, let's try this again. Some major video rotations, but it looks like it's keeping track of where the person is pretty nicely. So yeah, hope this helps. After this video, we're gonna actually just adjust the, okay, it's already the max blur. So if we go back to just our normal video, right, this is our main video, we can actually see that the blur was applied here. You can actually turn it on and off, but that's kind of the blur. And yeah, there we go. So this is our video. Hope you learned something.